share my screen. So this young lady, she's only a millennial. She's, you know, when I say only, she's a very smart young woman who I've been watching some of her stuff, and she really knows her stuff, and I'm pretty impressed with her. So yeah, and she's really pretty accurate and brings up a lot of good points. So I will just queue up the video. Hopefully we don't get frozen by YouTube. Sometimes they mute it, or they decide that, you know, they're not going to let you play it. So if that happens, yeah, I'll stop it, and then we'll just have to I'll just have to try and expand on it. But anyway, here's hoping that it works. So I will play it now, and then I will discuss at the end.
Investors before the next bull cycle is that there are a lot of people, probably a lot of us, that have been holding bags of altcoins that are in the red from last bull cycle. Some of our altcoins are down 20%, 40%, 60%, some down over 80 and 90%, and some of us are still holding. One of the top questions I get asked all the time is, one, which altcoins am I looking at for the next bull cycle? And two, do you think such and such coin is coming back? Should I hold? Should I sell? And considering the reality of the situation where a lot of people are holding altcoins that pumped hard in the last bull cycle, that have been in the red throughout this long, brutal bear market, who are constantly asking me if the coin is coming back and if they should keep holding or sell, what do we honestly think is going to happen when or if certain coins go up 10%, 20%, try to start approaching their last all-time highs? Well, there is going to be a ton of sell pressure. Everyone who is in the red, some that may be down 90% in their position, are cool with maybe selling at an 80% loss if the coin price starts increasing. Some are cool at selling at a 70% loss, 50% loss, 30% loss. And when considering this horrible economic environment with people needing to take out loans to buy groceries to survive, what percentage of all altcoin holders from the previous bull market do you honestly think are going to wait for their bags to get in the green? And let's just say optimistically that it's a lot of people. What will happen when they are finally in the green? Massive sell-off. So whether we are holding popular altcoins from the last bull cycle, or if we are considering buying altcoins that were popular in the last bull cycle at these crazy lows, keep in mind that the journey to previous all-time highs will be long, tough, and arduous. And in some cases, that journey may not ever happen. And just to be clear, this technology is still extremely new, speculative, risky, very risky. So the reality is, for now and likely the next few years, the highest and best use of altcoins is literally to just trade them, buying them low from someone who capitulates and selling them to someone high who FOMOs in later in the game. Buying and selling altcoins is unfortunately a zero-sum game, where one person's gain is equal to another person's loss. Some will get rich and others will get wrecked. Buying and selling crypto for potential profit is not a steady, reliable source of income. Buying and selling crypto is an extremely risky form of investing that is actually more like gambling. These are not your typical startups or businesses that are generating profit by creating and distributing value in the form of product, services, or utility for the most part. Projects go bust, projects get sued, founders rug pull, glitches happen, tech gets hacked. Anything can happen, which is why it's so important to never, ever put any money you absolutely cannot afford to lose in any type of investment or plays like altcoins. The more at risk your money is, the more potential reward you may experience, and absolutely the more potential you may lose it all. So with this harsh reality in mind, going back to the top question I get asked the most, which altcoins am I looking into for the next bull cycle? Well, it's not really any altcoins that were popular in the last bull cycle because of the massive sell pressure they will experience when or even if the price starts to creep back up, which is one of the reasons why historically popular altcoins from previous cycles don't perform as well in future cycles. Sure, some of the bigger ones like Solana can make a comeback. However, we have a better shot at a moonshot with newer projects with less bag holders or positions in the red waiting for it to maybe come back, and projects that are part of the next exciting wave of tech innovation that sparks the next crypto bull cycle. Because when looking back The first bull cycle was sparked by the invention of Bitcoin, the first decentralized global peer-to-peer digital currency. The second bull cycle was sparked by the launch of Ethereum, the first decentralized global digital software technology platform that people could build decentralized applications on. And the third bull cycle was sparked by the development of DeFi, or decentralized finance, applications like Uniswap, Maker, Ava, Synthetics, and similar. And we've seen certain categories of cryptocurrencies experience short pump cycles during this bear market, like AI and meme coins. So what will be the spark that ignites this next potential, absolutely face-melting crypto bull cycle? Hello, I'm Crypto Casey, and in this video, we are going to explore what could likely spark the next bull cycle in 5 newer cryptocurrencies I'm looking to gamble into this next market cycle. Let's hit it. Please be sure to check out our sponsors, Morales Money, iTrust Capital, and Tangent Wallet. Find undervalued altcoin gems before they pump in the next face-melting bull market with Morales Money. Invest in and trade cryptocurrencies tax-free within our IRA or individual retirement account with iTrust Capital. And invest in your very own cold storage hardware wallet like Tangent Wallet. It's the size of a credit card, multi-currency, multi-chain, and it's by far the most cost-effective and easiest crypto wallet to set up and use on the market right now. Orders sometimes get backed up a few weeks, so pre-order one to get your spot in line for the next batch of wallets. Scroll down and use links below to access the correct and official sites, as well as redeem any special offers they have for us. Sweet. 2024 could be a repeat of 2020 when it comes to crypto, because we've got a big US election where the current administration has a massive incentive to get the markets rocking and rolling. So the Fed may change its tune. We've got another Bitcoin halving cycle happening around April of next year, and just a lot of bullish potential. So this means the rest of 2023 could possibly give us similar opportunities we had back in 2019 before the last bull run that kicked off with DeFi summer back in 2020. What may kick off the next one? And what new coins should we consider gambling on in this upcoming cycle? Well, my random wild guess about what could potentially spark the next bull cycle is interoperable, category-specific solutions with good user interfaces. Let's explore what I mean by that and then quickly go over through 5 coins I'm interested in for this next new crypto market cycle, which if you're interested in checking any of them out, using the links below, you can access the correct official sites as well as where to buy them. The next tech innovation that may likely excite crypto investors and drive adoption is bringing all past bull market sparks like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and DeFi all together into a nice, seamless experience through advancements in interoperability. So eventually it will not matter if people prefer different layer 1s like Ethereum versus Cardano versus Solana, or different layer 2s like Polygon versus Arbitrum versus Optimism, because the tech is evolving in such a way where we can interact across entire cryptocurrency ecosystems seamlessly with a simple user interface. And the first iteration of this just became a reality. The other day, the decentralized crypto exchange provider Shapeshift announced the launch of a multi-chain Snap feature that allows users to natively exchange and custody compatible non-EVM assets such as Bitcoin and Atom directly from their MetaMask wallet. This innovation takes crypto interoperability to the highest level, allowing users to manage their operations on a single wallet with a single application. With the latest launch of Snap on MetaMask, and the integration of Shapeshift's service that allows Bitcoin to be natively exchanged and stored in compatible EVM wallets, we can see that the blockchain world is making great strides on the interoperability front. Until a few years ago, thinking about such a simple and fast connection between assets belonging to different infrastructures was considered madness, while today it has become a reality. Innovations like these are so important because they simplify the user experience and make the gap between decentralized self-custodial wallets and centralized exchange-managed wallets less distant. The chains supported so far, not originally available on EVM wallets, are Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Cosmos, Binance Chain, Bitcoin Cash, Thorchain, Osmosis, and Secret Network. In particular, Shapeshift uses Thorchain's router to make transactions from Bitcoin to other networks. Which brings us to the first new market cycle coin I'm looking to place some bets on, Thorchain. Thorchain is a protocol where we can trade Bitcoin to Ether using non-custodial, fully decentralized cross-chain infrastructure. So instead of having to use wrapped tokens like wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum, Thorchain's network facilitates native asset settlement, meaning the actual digital asset Bitcoin between Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB chain, Avalanche, Cosmos Hub, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin is possible. Thorchain is secured by its native token, Rune, which accrues value as more assets are deposited into the network. Anyone can use Thorchain to swap native assets between any supported chains or deposit assets to earn yield from swaps. And on their roadmap, pretty soon, Thorchain's cross-chain communication will allow us to do more than just swaps, like lending, providing liquidity, self-custody swapping, message passing, decentralized exchange aggregation, and more. So as you can see, Thorchain is a project that is making leaps and bounds in blockchain technology interoperability that will remove the need for wrapped tokens, pegged tokens, and bridges between chains that are often hacked, experience glitches, and ultimately fail. Cool. New crypto cycle bet number 2, Meld. Meld is a Web3 banking stack that is a non-custodial cross-chain DeFi protocol supporting 6 leading blockchains where we can borrow, lend, and stake with an exciting twist, and that is integrated with the traditional fiat banking system. So this transcends interoperability from just between different blockchains like Bitcoin versus Ethereum versus Cardano and bridges the gap between Web3 and regulated fiat banking systems and services. As they like to put it, Meld is melding crypto and traditional currency, bringing 2 worlds together under the principles of a trustless, secure, and decentralized ecosystem with a DeFi lending and borrowing protocol connected by a multi-chain wallet to a Web3 neobank. Meld is a new type of banking. We live in a global economy, and just like being cross-chain, Meld is cross-border. Economic and political changes can't alter Meld's smart contracts, and their DeFi protocol is safe from changing laws or unexpected events. So personally, I am super keen on following this project's developments because having a non-custodial fiat bank account and services is an absolutely mind-blowing game changer in my opinion. And if a dedicated video about this solution interests you, let me know in the comments below if you want to do a deep dive together. In the meantime, to get early access to the Meld Neobank, scroll down and use the link to the correct and official site in the description area below, where we can also qualify for some upcoming free Meld airdrops, aka free crypto. Sweet. New crypto cycle bet number 3, Axelar. Axelar connects over 30 different blockchains together like Ethereum, Avalanche, BNB, Phantom, Moonbeam, Cosmos, and more. It is built to connect thousands of them with secure communication and Turing complete composability, allowing us to work with any asset on any chain. Axelar aims to power the interchain future, where their infrastructure enables dApps or decentralized application users to interact with any asset or application on any chain with just one click. It is a programmable interoperability layer that creates a more seamless user experience by working on the back end to connect various networks into simple one-click actions for all users. Their use cases include cross-chain swaps, lending, stablecoin liquidity, any Web3 gaming asset, anywhere can become a currency or a credential, NFT integrations, crypto wallets can link users and functions across multiple blockchains, and more. So we can start to see a pattern here with these plays where they are breaking down the technological barriers between all these separate blockchain experiences we have now, like Apple versus Android versus PC versus Mac, where pretty soon it won't matter what digital assets we have or where they are, because we will be able to use them everywhere in Web3 in a cheaper, more secure, more decentralized, and more efficient way that is user-friendly, even for new users in crypto and Web3. Amazing. Now these last 2 projects bring in more of the interoperable category-specific solutions. New crypto cycle play number 4, GameSwift. GameSwift is a gaming-optimized platform empowering the mass adoption of Web3 games that is interoperable, cross-chain, and enables users to seamlessly access it from any place in any major blockchain network and transfer data cross-chain. GameSwift's infrastructure allows for reliant high-speed transactions with ultra-low gas fees, making it a perfect environment for developers looking to launch any Web3 gaming protocol for users to play. GameSwift allows us to create our own Web3 gaming identity, where we can log into any games with one account, and it comes with a unique gaming profile with all of our gaming achievements, statistics, and assets, including NFTs, regardless of the chain or game they come from, all in one fully decentralized and interoperable place. As we've discussed several times together on the channel, I'm super bullish on the future of Web3 gaming and digital assets like NFTs. And it seems like GameSwift is a solution that will make it easier, faster, and more secure for developers to create and launch games to make Web3 gaming a reality sooner than later. Cool. New crypto cycle bet number 5. But first, a quick word about Masterworks. Another great way we can make use of the rest of this bear market is by learning about different ways we can diversify our investment portfolios that will help us on our journey to achieving financial freedom, like with the time-tested, uncorrelated asset class, fine art. Art is one of the oldest asset classes there are, and typically only the ultra-wealthy have had access to fine art investments until now. Masterworks removes the barriers we would otherwise face if we tried to invest in art on our own, because the costs are extremely high for the average investor. So with a $10 million piece of art by Banksy or Picasso or whoever, we can now diversify our portfolios into shares of these assets. Masterworks makes this large asset class now accessible to a wide range of investors with their platform that transfers physical art into share-based ownership. And this is great because historically, when comparing returns from different assets during periods of high inflation, like we're currently experiencing, gold does roughly 0.2%. S&P does about 3.8%. REITs do 5%. Emergent market equities do roughly 12.6%, while contemporary art does around 23.2%. So there is a waitlist to join Masterworks. However, if you use the link below, we can skip the waitlist and start diversifying our investment portfolios into this unique asset class today. So scroll down and check it out and see important disclosures at masterworks.com/CD. Nice. New crypto cycle bet number 5, Radix. Similar to GameSwift, Radix is a decentralized network that aims to be the perfect place for developers to build and launch interoperable, decentralized financial protocols and applications. They offer a full stack for DeFi that lets users build fast and rewards everyone who contributes to making it better, that can scale without friction. As they like to say, Radix is a place where DeFi can thrive, being the only decentralized secure network where developers can build quickly without the constant threat of exploit and hacks, where every improvement to the network is rewarded and where scaling will never bottleneck. They do have plans to launch the next iteration on their roadmap called Babylon this month, September 2023. So be sure to check out the links to their correct and official accounts to stay updated on all their latest developments. Awesome. So if you would like to learn more about how DeFi or decentralized financial applications.
Okay, so that's that video is quite awesome for a number of reasons. Because it opened up a Pandora's box in my mind about how important interoperability is to the whole ecosystem. Interoperability is building an ecosystem. Each blockchain is an ecosystem in its own right. But it's sort of a bit like a walled garden. It's a bit sort of, it's really just an isolated like island, if you like. And that's why sometimes not sometimes, but quite often we have difficulties sending one coin to this certain wallet, or getting that coin over there. It costs a lot of fees, and it's sort of creates what they call friction, which means the space is not it's not well integrated or synchronized with each other. They kind of like they've set up their own projects in roughly, with a competitive mindset, and to me the competitive mindset is the old ways. It's the old 3D model of how we used to do business. The strongest will survive, and you've got to sort of bash your competitor and to win and all that sort of stuff. So that to me is old school, old hat mindset. But so to back up the truck a bit, initially, we are building up to this bull run. It's sort of in the very early phases now. It won't sort of happen instantly. This is sort of a bit of a run up to it. And it may not really start to kick in full force until maybe late December, maybe into January, or even February, or in even March in 2024. But it must be coming fairly soon, because there's a whole lot of things happening all at once from now until around March 2024. We've got the ISO messaging payments standard is going live with all the major other major payment messaging standards on the 19th of November. You've got these spot ETFs which is going to bring in that's going to bring the institutions into play. So this is important because it's going to bring a lot of money into the market, because these financial advisors can then go to people like us and they'll be offering them this investment opportunity of investing on Bitcoin or investing on Ethereum, like they do in their other traditional stocks, and you basically get the price appreciation, but you don't get to hold the crypto. So that's why I don't like it. I would never go into an ETF, but it's going to bring all the mainstream people who don't know anything about crypto. They probably would never even want to open a wallet, but they will invest in there because the advisor says that it's going to be good, and it will probably be good for a while. But what happens further down the track, who knows? But for the next few years, I'd say that this is going to be it's going to be a whole new asset class that's going to explode. But this is going to lead the bull run. And these ETFs are only focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So naturally, Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to really start to blow up. And they have already started. Those tokens have already done some pretty incredible gains over the last 2 to 3 weeks. Just on the news. Imagine when they actually launch this ETF. I mean, Bitcoin jumped something like 15% in one day. And, in the traditional market, you don't see that. You're certainly not today. So that is, it's just good to know. So the altcoins, or the alternative coins, in other words, every other coin other than Bitcoin, not including Ethereum, of course, because Ethereum is effectively an altcoin as well. But certainly all the others, they will go quite high in price. But as Casey said, they may not go as high as some of these brand new ones that are bringing out these new sort of use cases around the interoperability. But anyway, I'll come back to that. But so, Bitcoin and Ethereum will lead. And then as they get to a certain price, human nature being what it is, a lot of these investors are then looking to the altcoins, because they know that they can get pretty spectacular gains. So although what Casey says, I think, is true, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. And there is going to be a lot of money flooding into the alternative coins because of the profit taking from Bitcoin. Something like 88% of Bitcoin holders have not touched their wallet and not sold anything for years, 3+ years. So, so that means, and a lot of those Bitcoin holders have been holding for, much longer than that. So they're going to get some pretty spectacular gains. And so it's natural that they're going to want to take profit to divest their portfolio, to diversify. And they will be looking at the altcoins. So this market, so the altcoin market will not be the prime mover of this bull run. So that's important to know, because the institutions are still not there. They're not in this space. Yeah, there's a heck of a lot of development going on. We know there's a lot of partnerships being formed. There's a lot of foundations being laid down, and some of these tokens is just phenomenal. But until the investors are able to invest, I mean, like the sanctioned investors. I mean, there's people like us, there's hedge fund owners, and there's financial advisors, and they're investing on their own right, which they're allowed to do, but they're not going to bring their organizations into investing in even XRP. Yeah, there has been a few, obviously the odd bank and investors is investing in XRP and some of the others, but not in a big, massive way. It's isolated here and there. And a lot of the others, they've done deals and partnerships, but they can't sort of ratify it until regulation comes in, which I still think we're looking at least late 2024, early 2025 for that. So yeah, so basically this interoperability Wade, I thought it was really brilliant how she explained the first bull run was Bitcoin only. The second Bitcoin was when Ethereum came along, and obviously with the smart contracts and the whole concept of Ethereum, the EVM, as they call it, Ethereum virtual machine, that captured a lot of people's attention. So they flooded into that market. And then the next big bull run was around decentralized finance and all things DeFi. And of course, that captured a lot of people's imagination, as it did mine. And so people just threw their money in because they just felt so inspired by it. So there's going to be, other primary movers of this bull run. And, she's saying, well, the next sort of class of tokens could be these interoperable tokens. But as I say, I still think it'll also be the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum are about to go kind of mainstream. As far as the investing side goes, they're going to go mainstream where any institution can get access to them. And that will bring in all retail will then go in that way through their advisor, through the broker, and all of that stuff. So we're still dealing with this quite a bit of the traditional finance kind of meshing in with this decentralization, and it's going to sort of run on these two tracks, CeFi and DeFi, for some time. But coming back to the interoperability, so that means basically with interoperability, even if we can basically in the blockchain world, you can connect anything with anyone, anywhere. And that goes with all these different use cases and applications getting interoperable with all different locations around the world and with all different blockchains. So the blockchains are linking up, the use cases are being brought together and in various locations. And that is going to, as that grows, you can imagine this is when the dam is going to burst and the water is going to flood into this arena. It is the early stages of a whole new financial and social system. So we're witnessing it getting built in real time. And so I think that's pretty amazing. The interoperability between blockchains is going to eliminate these need for bridges and for the need for wrapped tokens. So that's going to make the whole thing a lot simpler for the mainstream. That's what they need. They need simple user interface. And that's what she was talking about with the Thor chain, with the rune token. And, you got this thing now where, it's like you've got Apple competing with Android, and you've got, in the old days, you had, was it VHS was versus, was it the other format of video? You see these clashes all the time when new technologies come out, and there's always a few winners or one winner and a loser or losers. And in this case, it looks to me like it's basically going to bring everyone into this, and there's going to be a lot more inclusivity. That's another word, another buzzword that is used. The whole system is going to become inclusive, including 1 or 2 billion people who don't even participate in the system at all at the moment, and the unbanked kind of people in the more third world and Asian countries, India, Africa, South America, and other Asian countries. They're basically outside of the system. Well, this is going to bring them in to that. So that is going to be bringing a huge amount of liquidity into the market. And the interoperability between all the other areas of blockchain and all the other areas of use case, from DeFi, gaming, video streaming, social media, I go on and on and on. All these are going to be able to interact seamlessly, which means liquidity. That's what it's going to bring. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's going to be like a magnet for people to pull them in, because it's going to be so relatively easy for them. By the time the mass come in, they won't have to go through the same difficulties we did. They will be just 1 click, 2 clicks, maybe 3 clicks, and then done. You'll be sending and receiving, and you won't be dealing with quite the same difficulties that we've had to go through. So that is going to just be a game changer, because that's the thing that probably is the biggest obstacle to people coming into crypto. When they find out about it, most people stop because they feel that they can't do it, or they feel inadequate because they are struggling with understanding the technology, or they're understanding how it works, or how to actually do the functions. They get very nervous, and we've all been through that. I know I went through that. It was quite nerve-wracking in the early days, and I'm sure you've had the similar experiences. So this is just going to open up to anybody, even the non-techie savvy people who feel like the complete tech dummies. Like I still classify myself in much way as a tech dummy in many cases, but crypto has helped me to overcome that. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, so basically, this bull run, it's in Casey's opinion, it's possible that these interoperable type tokens could lead it. I would say that there will be a resurgence within the DeFi space, and certainly Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to have their day in the sun again. So what she was saying is that it's bringing those previous bull runs together into a much more bigger wave, if you like, of input, of investment and of activity, and new people will be. I know that they are starting to go exponential now, the amount of people that are coming in. But when we're in the peak of the bull run, the amount of people that will be coming in this will be truly off the scale. As I've seen in every other bull run, that's when people are pouring in, like flooding in, because that news, that FOMO-y kind of news, spreads out, and everyone the fear of missing out is a great activator for a lot of people. And then once they get in, and then they obviously got to go through the crash course like we did, but then eventually they start to get their head around it, and then it consolidates a whole new number of people, but at a much higher level, at a much higher number, a much bigger foundation of early adopters. So we are in this really incredible stage where we're going to see a lot of changes happening in the world, not just through the finance side, but every way, as I'm sure you're pretty aware. And this is going to be a very it's going to be quite a chaotic time, because I see that the cyber attacks are really starting to ramp up. Australia got hit with a huge cyber attack that's just completely immobilized their ports, and a lot of people still they can't do anything. They can't they can't do any banking. The ports are shut down. And so unfortunately this is what happens in these times of the change of the guard, of the changing of the guard at the cabal, and all these other factors that are coming into play. The ones that are on the losing side, or even if they're on the winning side, they still throw these things out to distract us, to help immobilize us, to strip our money, our assets, to all the different nefarious things. It's almost like we're kind of in a giant goldfish bowl, and they're just throwing little bombs into the water, into the bowl, and sort of almost taking delight in seeing how we react, or how we respond, or what happens to us. So we've kind of got to really be strong. We've got to be pretty strong in our mindset. We've got to get as healthy as we can. And I see there's a lot of people out there that are not healthy at all. We've got to double down on why we're here and what we're doing and our purpose, and hold our vision strong, because with non-reaction and with pure focus on what we're here to build and what we're here to create, then we're not basically participating in these distraction games. We just have to stay neutral to all of the stuff that we see externally, and we have to get really active internally about really dissolving the past, really, and eliminating all those beliefs that are no longer serving. We have to clear the decks, clear the slate of all the old stuff that's holding you back, all the stuff where you get triggered, where you still get anger, or where you get fear, or whatever. That's where we need to look. That's where we need to go into the center of that, and we need to find out what it is in us that we still believe, or what we perceive is erroneous to who we are now, the world we're in now. So like I've said in a previous presentation, everything goes on cycles. So it's important to know where you are in the cycle. Where we are now, we're in the foothills of the next bull cycle, or the next mountain that's about to be created in front of us. And so it's a good time to get clear on what your strategy is going to be going into this time. What tokens are you going to sell? What tokens are you going to, how much of each token are you going to sell? And we can look at, different. I'm continuing to look in that space around trading strategies, and what we can do to basically just navigate the space, and we can do it sort of together. I mean, every time I research and I present, I'm learning so much more myself, and the more that I drill into it, and trading is not my strongest suit, so I will bring up other trading type experts where you can listen to them and hear what they got to say, because when it comes to trading, it's, as I say, it's not my strong suit. So I'd rather go on the expertise of others. My strong suit is looking at the big macro picture and where we might be going as a as a movement, as a humanity movement, and what are the big macro factors that are affecting us, the economy, the currencies, the social implications and all that, the spiritual implications as well. And that's the stuff that I love doing. But I'm really starting through this process of crypto. It's really I really had to call on being able to be flexible in other areas, and looking at the detail, looking at things like the trading and things around the accounting, and considering strategies and all that is really good. It's really good learnings. So I was just thinking of some of the other interoperable some of the other things that might be driving the bull market, or maybe bull markets to come. There's other big areas that I think are waiting in the wings that are going to be quite big. Casey touched on AI. I think there will be a big AI factor to come with blockchain. Blockchain and AI can work together pretty well. Well, AI is really what's behind the smart contracts, or the digital contracts, and so we're going to see more and more AI infused into blockchain. That could be a biggie, and you'll see other things around the decentralized finance area, where you drill down. Decentralized finance is a big area. There's lots of subsets in that: lending and borrowing, the payment side, the gaming, could come under that as well, in the decentralized gaming, and video streaming, social media. There's so many other things that each in their own right are pretty big in the world. And again, imagine when they start to all link up. Like, for instance, imagine when global digital payments, is fully interoperable with decentralized finance, and that in turn is fully interoperable with, say, gaming. That is like gamers. There's well over 1 billion people who do gaming in the world. And there's a big chunk of people that would be connected to the decentralized finance. Theoretically, just about everybody. Everyone needs to, have money, and then the payments, global payments. When global payments are fully meshing and melding and interoperable with DeFi and gaming, that's just one sort of thing, but you could connect it up in so many other ways. There's so many other aspects to this world, like social media. Imagine when payments are incorporated and integrated into social media, like what Elon Musk said he's going to do, and I have no doubt he's going to do it as well. That is going to change the whole game big time on social media. You'll have inbuilt payments systems. That's when you'll get paid. You get paid to post, paid to play, as they say, pay to play. There'll be, and then you could bring in, say video streaming, just as one subset. Like the Theta token does video streaming. So you'll be able to video stream. You might, be able to, then you could accept payment for your presentation, and it's all done on the social media in a decentralized way. That would be quite a game changer. And that's just one of an infinite number of applications. And so this whole interoperability is much, much bigger than just one blockchain to one blockchain. The interoperability is, countries are becoming interoperable, so it's by location as well as by use case, as well as by, all the smaller things we use, like our wallets becoming interoperable with say decentralized banks, which we know is coming, and self-custodying our money without even having to go anywhere near a bank, centralized bank. It's going to be incredible. And what Casey said there about the MELD coin was quite mind-blowing, where you can have self-custody for your fiat. That's an interesting concept. Traditionally, fiat can only go in a bricks and mortar type bank. I'd only ever thought of digital currency in a self-custody wallet, but imagine having fiat and actually that's exactly what's coming anyway with this decentralized bank that we're associated with. So that's going to be very, very cool. So basically, if anyone's got anything they wanted to say, you're welcome to unmute. I mean, there's a lot of things. I was just reading the messages. She sounds like AI. Interesting that you say that. I didn't thought of that. I think she's a real person, though. I maybe she's just been very well trained to be quite automated in her voice, but I think that she's a real person. But then the AI these days, you'd never know. So it's so damn good. By the way, there's a scam going out there with AI impersonating Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of the Ripple company, an XRP token. And it does sound exactly like him, but it's not him. And it's a total scam where they're trying to get you to put your XRP into a wallet and you'll get double back. You never, ever give over your crypto in the first instance to get something more back. That is always a scam. If there's any airdrop or anything, then you might have to do a few tasks. They might have to get you to do a few things, but you never ever have to pay anything to get anything back. So ignore those. Fenna was just saying, my close friend in the Netherlands has bought Bitcoin in 2006 and gave me some. He has hold on to his wallet for investment. Amazing guy. Well, yeah, that's quite an incredible gift. But that's the Bitcoin, that's the SV Satoshi's vision Bitcoin, though, isn't it, Fenna? I think it is, in which case it's worth a heck of a lot less than the traditional Bitcoin. But anyway, still, it's an incredible gift. Yeah, thanks, Oksana. Yeah, it's insights come when you do a certain amount of research, then eventually it's like something just goes ping in my mind, and then it's like I just sort of join up a few more dots. And that's really what I am, as a dot connector, and just trying to look at where things might be heading in the future based on the past cycles and past things that have happened. It really, that's really all I really am. So, if it's the traditional Bitcoin, then it's definitely worth, it's going to be worth. I think Bitcoin will easily go over 100K. I'm not sure in this bull cycle, it could do, but certainly in the next couple of years, I think Bitcoin will. Some are saying ridiculous prices like $500,000 to even $1 million. Maybe it might, but I don't see that happening in the next short while, but maybe in a few years. I don't know, I might be proved wrong. I'm just wary of Bitcoin because of what BlackRock is doing with it. Now they've got their paws into Ethereum. But they can only manipulate the price, and they can only manipulate it through people choosing to invest in these ETF type projects. It's a shame because the technology is so amazing, but because they've got so many, they're controlling the whole system. They've got a few options up their sleeve where they can control it, and one of their strengths is these ETF type instruments. So so anyway, that's we're just about ready to do our projects roundup now, so I will finish recording.